How's it going, guys? Today is another day down here in Florida, and what we're going to do today is we're going to do something that everybody else does, and we're going to do 3 things that I like, 3 things that I hate about all of my cars. Have them all set up over here in a corner. Looks actually really sick in the grass right now. I like it. I like how this looks. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and go through all of the cars, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys the 3 things that I like about each car and the 3 things that I hate. So we're going to go ahead and start with the BMW. That one's a pretty easy one to do. We're going to start with the 3 things that I like, and then we're going to go to the 3 things that I hate. So the 3 things that I like is that it's red. It's very hard to actually find this color in certain parts of the US or just all over the place. I've heard that some of you guys commented and were posting it when I'd said that it was actually a pretty hard color to find, but I like that it's red. The second thing that I like about it is that it's a sedan. So this thing is awesome for toting people around, going for like little trips and having more than 2 people in your car. The 4 doors actually allows a lot more of a spacious ride, and just for accommodations. The trunk will actually accommodate my bicycle in the back instead, unlike my G37. And then just having a sedan is sick. Drift taxi, why not? The last thing I like about it is it's got to be that it's manual. Yeah, we're gonna go with that one. We're gonna say that it's manual, and I like that about it. It's awesome because the only thing that I wish it was is I wish it was a 6-speed, because on the highway it's kind of screaming for that 6th gear. But other than that, it's really, really nice. So now onto things I dislike about the car. Number 1, I did it myself and I'm regretting it now, but it has a welded diff. That's number 1. I dislike it because it makes daily driving it very, very hard. You go through a lot of tires very, very fast. And yeah, I guess the only cool thing is like when it's raining out like this, you could just slide wherever you want. But other than that, it sucks. Number 2, it's slow. It's only a 2.5, which is the second to slowest model of these cars. The slowest is like the 218, which is like a 1.8 or something like that, or like a 2.0. Really, really slow, but we're gonna fix that hopefully pretty soon, and we're gonna do some upgrades to the motor and try to get it so that it's got some more horsepower. The third thing that I dislike about the car is that it's starting to fall apart. It's actually showing its age in this time now. Like the grill has always been falling out, but the grill is falling off. There's rust in certain parts of the car. The interior has seen better days, especially since it's been down here in Florida. Some of the interior pieces are starting to unglue themselves and come apart from the door panels and other parts inside the car. But it's just showing its age. Like the cowl trim right here, that's completely gone almost all the way across the front. There's like only a sliver of it underneath this wiper blade that's still available right there. And it's just starting to show its age. But other than that, I really, really like this car. So guys, my G37 here. This is the second car that we're going to talk about. 3 things that I like. I like that it is already stanced. I didn't have to stance it. I didn't have to do anything to it. All I did was I took out some like extender springs in the very back of it, and it lowered the back a heck of a lot. And now it actually tucks tire just a little bit, and that is absolutely sick. I like the sound of it to a degree. It's pretty cool, except for when it starts really getting up there in revs, it starts sounding really, really tingy, which you guys have heard it in the past videos, and I'll start it up really quick. I'm not sure if it does it on revs, but it definitely does it sometimes. So in here, we're gonna hit the button, give it a nice start up. This thing hasn't been really driven in a very, very long time. I took it to the store the other day, and that was about it. But so that little like raspiness right there, it's cool and all, but it's not the best. Third thing that I like about the car is just the overall look. It's a really, really clean looking car. It's got Akebono brakes on it. It's got some nice 19-inch wheels already. The interior is absolutely gorgeous. I like how everything is like already catered to you. There's navigation in this one. There's Tiptronics, which is super sick. You cannot really find these with Akebono brakes and the Tiptronics. So it's got the Tiptronics right here. You have the full leather interior. The cool thing about these seats is when you pull it up like that, if you have a passenger in the back, you could just press that once and the seat will automatically move up for you. And then when it's all done going up, you just push it back and press it back again. This is the newest car that I've ever owned. I don't think it's actually the newest car that I've ever owned. I think my Jeep up in Connecticut was the newest car I ever owned. That was a 2008. I think this is also a 2008. It's either 2008 or 2007, but it's pretty close. So those are the three things that I like about the car. One thing that I do not like about the car is that I still have yet to figure out the windshield, and I know I have a bunch of things. I'm going to hear a bunch of comments in the video about, did you check the sunroof drains? Yes, I checked the sunroof drains. Did you check the cowl? Yes, I checked the cowl. I think it's just coming down to the windshield needs to be taken out. There's probably rust under it somewhere that needs to be replaced, that needs to be fixed, and then put a new windshield in with new sealant, and it'll be all good. Another thing that I dislike about the car is that the front bumper is kind of destroyed. Like, they never really sit right, and they always break and stuff like that. But the car body has actually seen better days itself. The front bumper is kind of messed up. There's scratches along the side and on the side skirt. The rear bumper is kind of messed up, but it's all fixable things, and it can be redone. The third thing that I dislike about this car is that it's very hard to work on. This is actually, I shouldn't say it's hard to work on, but it's kind of a pain sometimes because everything is kind of crammed in the engine bay. This is a 370, a 300. It's the same setup on most of them. The engine is very, very wide, and it takes up a lot of the engine bay, and it just makes it hard to get to things on the sides and in certain parts of the engine bay. But I'm decently familiar with these cars, so it doesn't come down. So it's not absolutely the end of the world for this thing, but yeah, that's it. And like a fourth thing is that the exhaust is kind of like a fence pipe. You've seen that in previous videos, so we need to fix that still, but I don't really drive this car all that much, so it's okay. It kind of sits here. But on to the last, but definitely not least, and probably the one you guys all want to hear about and see the most, the 180 SX. About this car, the absolute stance of it now. I like how the front is super cambered, the rear is not. That we have some, I need to get some spacers so that we can get the front wheels out and whatnot. The second thing that I like about the car is that it's a hatch. I've wanted a hatch. I wouldn't have bought a coupe, and yeah, hatch. Can't go wrong with it. I like the trunk space. Super sick. I throw my bike in this thing just like I could throw my bike in the BMW. That it has full interior, which is very hard to come by. If you have a 240 in the States, people usually rip the back seats out and throw them away. Then you never have the back seats. I can go on and on and on about things that I like about this car, so we're going to try to narrow it down to certain things. The next thing is that I like the big brakes behind this thing. It looks absolutely sick now that these things are on here, and I'm going to try to keep this car as clean as possible once I can get a car cover for it. So it'll probably never see sunlight after it goes under a car cover, but unless it's getting worked on, or it's at a show, or it's at an event, something like that. We're going to go ahead and pop the hood on this one and show you guys the money shot on this thing. Ooh, the hood actually worked today. It wasn't working the other day. That's pretty sick. Money. Yeah, so we have an SR20 4-cylinder turbo. Yeah, obviously that's what that is. So we have an SR20. It's basically stock internals. I love the motor in this thing right now. The only thing is that it's overheating, and I have to figure that out, but we'll figure it out in due time. The thing is going to be at the house for a little while now, so there's no rush. So I love the intake, the intercooler, the relocations, the oil cooler, the radiator, all the stuff that I've been putting into this thing. It kind of makes both of these cars look like shit underneath the hood. So we're gonna try to get some stuff for this thing eventually one day, and then this thing I have plans for, but all in due time. These cars will be absolutely ridiculous and they'll be sick. So that kind of wraps up the things that I like about this car. Let's go on to things that I dislike about the car. Things that I dislike: tweed. I do not like tweed. Tweed holds in a lot of smells, and it does not let things go. So I wish you guys could smell this thing. It smells like Japan. It's pretty sick that it smells like Japan, but I don't like tweed. This stuff is absolutely horrible. Yeah, don't like this interior. But if you guys know any place that rewraps rear seats like this, definitely throw it down in the comments. I'm trying to get these things rewrapped. So that's one thing. 2, cracked dash. Do not like the cracked dash. I have plans for it. I'm not too worried about it getting worse or sitting in the sun and not having like a sun shield on it, because there are plans for this dashboard and we will be doing stuff for that in the later future. Third thing that I dislike about this thing now is that it doesn't have a emergency brake. It just has nothing. So doing the big brake kit on this thing for the 300ZX brakes, you lose your rear brake capabilities in the back, and you have to either figure out how to get the 300ZX brake into there, or you have to mock up some other brake system so that it'll lock it and it'll be okay for it. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do with that. I really just want to get it figured out. I want to put like an e-brake back into it, other than the hydro e-brake that I will be putting in this car. So yeah, the braking system kind of sucks at the holding it in place. I don't like leaving it in gear all that much. I don't like putting a lot of strain on the gears and things like that. So yeah, that's one thing that I dislike a lot now about this car. But other than that, guys, it's just going to wrap this thing up. This is a short video or a long video. I'll figure that out when I'm editing it. But those are the 3 things that I like and the 3 things that I dislike about all of my cars. The 180 looks super sick right now. I love that thing. The BMW is awesome. The Infiniti is awesome. I like all my cars. So guys, just to sum it all up, yeah, I like all of my cars. The 180 has a special place in my heart. So does the BMW. The Infiniti is working its way up there, but that's about it though, guys. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, comment, share, do all the good stuff. Hope to see you guys in the next one. More content to come, and yeah, we're just working with some stuff. I am in a little bit of contact with a company about a turbo for the 180. We're going to go top mount with a super sick manifold with a nice quick spooling turbo, so we can get up to that number that I need really, that I would like really quick. And now it's really just working on the outside of the 180 because the motor's pretty quick as it is. I need to get the hydro for it, and I need to get spacers for the front so that I can dial in that stuff, and then we go on to getting new tires for the whole thing and working on things like that. But that's about it though, guys. I'm gonna stop rambling, and I'll see you guys later. Stay tuned for more.